head of state, and of course after that we'll get the initiation process beginning the video at 10 but I'm seeing content creators wakisema that the match was fair, but the only target that we had as a country was to to cut the cross against economic crisis. So sisi tulitukwa mechi because we needed that money. So 500 indeed, 500,000 is not a joke to every player, na hiyo itasaidia pakubwa sana. So congratulations Harambee Stars for that particular draw against Angola yesterday night. And of course we are anticipating more matches as far as the CAF competitions are concerned, and of course we are hoping that Harambee Stars will also make us proud in the near future. So even as we embrace that, there is also a point of consideration now, even as we embrace solutions based in the line of mental health right here in the Republic, and even as we dig deeper into that conversation, we'll be able to understand the clear context on what is at hand at this particular moment. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us for the first time, we are live across all social media platforms, that is on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, TikTok. Also, you can join us on our website www.lookuptv.co.ke. Our WhatsApp number is online and working, 0745762640. We'll get those attachments in the best way possible. Do you think the young people are okay? Send us your comments and your opinions on that particular subject. Now, social support and adolescent mental health in Kenya, apparel mediation, analysis or perceived control and gratitude. So adolescent mental health is a global concern, and while social support is a non-protective factor, the mechanism of its impact, especially in diverse settings like Kenya, need more exploration. As we dive deeper, there is a sort of age groups that are involved in these conversations, starting from the young children to the adults, the Gen Zs and the youths. Do you think they are okay? And if they are not, what are some of the challenging factors that zinafanya watu wasionekana kana kwamba wako fiti? Get in the conversation, and of course we're going to start in the next few minutes. It is 14 minutes past 8 a.m. and of course we'll get the conversation in the next few minutes to have the alignment at hand. I'm joined in by winners of Mental Health 2025 whose faces are not familiar. Mmekuwa mkiwaona kwa hizi maonyesho ya Morning Drift, but it's nice to see you once more, and of course it's a pleasure that you guys won. Hii trophy yako ndo ina speak sana.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Congratulations once more. And the Morning Drift acknowledges your efforts in mental health and mental upbringing, and that is why today's episode we've dubbed it winning mentally. So if we are in the better position to win, it starts from the mind, that is from within, then elevating it to the better way possible. So it's an honor to have you right here, and congratulating you live on television that you did a good job. Mental Health Advocate of the Year and Youth Advocate of the Year, Youth Mental Champion of the Year. Congratulations. We start with you. Please introduce yourself, and of course now you introduce yourself as you say you are which championship?
All right, thank you so much, Sesmo. And before I tell you who I am, and I would want to say who you are and all the viewers that are watching me today. You are whole, worthy, and still becoming. That's the heart of every conversation I hold as a counseling psychologist, a CBT counselor, a mental health champion, now a mental health advocate, and a child, adolescent, and young adult counselor.
Amazing.
So yeah, thank you.
Powerful,
Yes.
powerful. Lazima tungongeza hiyo.
Lazima.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and I believe it imefikia wengi. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, all right.
My name is Nganga. Was always a mental health advocate. Very passionate about the mental wellness of every young people. So today is just an opportunity, yet another opportunity to bring forth issues concerning mental health to the table and always provide solutions to every young person.
Indeed.
And help them know that, as she has said, that they are worthy and they are capable of making it through life despite the challenges.
Mbona hukukuja na trophy yako?
samahani, nilisahau. Lakini I will make sure I come with it next time.
Indeed. Yeah. And of course, we'll have the rollout Coco screen or on your trophy. It's a beautiful one as well.
Yeah.
But Hana alikuwa anasema yake ndio ilipamba jukwaa hiyo siku.
Kabisa.
Yake ndio ilitesa ilisumbua sana. All right. So Nganga, we are beginning this conversation, and the first thing we could ask this morning, and everyone cuts across the entire time. It is just 8 days since the month of August began, and we are embracing that the year is coming to an end. At this particular point in time, do you think the young people are okay?
Is yes and a no. I don't know if you are allowed to make both stands, but the answer is yes and no, simply because there are a particular set of young people who are properly organized and their mental health is well and kicking. So yes, to a particular section of young people who have considered mental health as a vital part of their well-being, and of course no to another particular section of young people who still feel like they are not yet well in regards to where they are at life and how things are moving on. So yeah.
All right. So you think it's a yes and no answer?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think you are okay?
Yes, I am to a high degree.
Amazing. And that is why you won.
Yeah.
Hey, kutafuta hizo votes hazikuwa jokes.
Haikuwa jokes. Kutafuta the inbox.
Indeed. That was nice. All right. Hannah, you've listened to what Nganga has said, and it's a yes or no answer. From where you sit, of course, in the aspect of adolescence and that particular young age, as we begin the conversation on understanding the beauty of being okay mentally, from where you see it, how do we balance the fact that now there is the okay for the young people, and there is okay for adolescents, and there is okay enough for the Gen Zs and the youths?
First of all, I'd want to say that the young people are not okay. Just like Nganga said, it's a 50-50 thing, but the bigger percent is that young people are not doing okay, simply because of unemployment, with the economy, with now broken families, relationship things, and all that, and it frustrates them. So I'll say that the bigger percent is of those people who are not doing okay, and it's very sad to find out that it's a very big percent of people who are not doing okay.
All right.
So your question was, what did you ask again? Sorry.
All right. So, and because this conversation cuts across the young people to the youths, how do we balance if this now it's the right okay for the young people, and this is now for the youths? How do we initiate that now? Unajua hii yako ni watu wakubwa kiasi. And the young people, of course, are in that position, pia wako affected, which we normally don't speak about being okay for the young people. So from where you sit as an expert or history your mental health, how do we make sure that we have the balance between mentally okay for the young people that cuts across now up to the youths?
I'll say increasing the number of counselors or the number of the help available. Maybe if it's maybe either free services or something, just to make a balance, because we have said that the people who are not doing okay are a bigger percent compared to the ones that are doing okay. Yes.
All right. So let's now talk about your championship, where you became the winner of the mental health advocacy of the year 2025. With all due respect now, as mental health champion of the year, how did it start?
Okay, like the winning or my journey?
Yeah, your journey now to get to the winning.
All right. So first of all, I've been very passionate about mental health. Being a counseling psychologist by profession, that's something that I've been really I've been doing it with my all. So this win, I think, I don't know who nominated me, to be honest. I really don't know who nominated me. And it's a very great change and impact. It shows how I'm being recognized by people out there, because Sesmo, I know you know that I'm in the social media platforms, and I really advocate for mental health. So this win, and I remember that day I really got emotional, because I was like, the certificates I have and the trophy I was given do not belong to me, and I said that I'm only a custodian. So the question remained, who was I dedicating this trophy and the certificates to?
You mentioned some powerful lines.
Yes, and I said that I'm dedicating this trophy and the certificates to those people who have never given up on themselves, to those people who aspire to become the best version of themselves every single day. And I said that I'm dedicating this trophy and the certificates to those, to the souls I've walked with through the shadows, because it becomes intense at times and it's not easy. And lastly, I say that I'm dedicating this trophy to everyone who feels like giving up, who feels like he or she is at the edge and they don't feel like maybe like doing another day, you know. So yeah, just as a motivation and as a reminder that they should never give up.
All right, and the journey began there.
Yes.
How did that make you feel, of course, now about the votes?
I was so happy. Of course, the voting was very intense, especially the last day. Tulikuwa tunakimbizana sana, and but I'm grateful and honored to be nominated, and I won. And yeah, though it wasn't easy, but I thank God.
So what are some of the things that you are going to embrace in the long run, that now you have become powerful in a way?
So I think I've been doing it even before the trophy came. I've been doing it. Now, what the trophy has maybe added, which is very good, is my voice a bit is going to be amplified, and of course I'm going to be, you know, do it now more than I used to do it.
I'm a client.
Exactly. Now akuje.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you
now the
so
youth
much.
advocate of the year, right? Youth mental champion of the year, right?
Yeah.
You're in that space. You've seen so many youths are really trying as much as possible to be okay. Now you become the winner, and you are telling us that now you want to make sure that the youths are clean mentally and they are stable. And from where now you see it as now the champion, so many people are looking up to you to make sure that you help them at least. In the process of mental advocacy, mental awareness, but now in the aspect of youth mental wellness, how does that come across?
Okay, my slogan from before has always been impact over everything else.
Amazing.
It doesn't matter what takes us anywhere, but the main focus should be what level of impact do you put towards the youth? To what degree do you influence their mental wellness? That is what matters most to me. And one of the things I usually say is I don't quite like people who like to take advantage of such opportunities where young people are able to open up to them, and the young people also give them an opportunity to influence their mental state and their mental health. I don't like that quite a lot, because I believe that if someone comes to you on the basis of mental wellness, then they trust you to be able to influence them towards a positive trajectory. So even as we win, yes, it's a good thing to win, and we all love winning and we all love going forward, but I still have time to remind myself that I should not be overwhelmed with winning and all the glamour that comes with it and forget what and where we started. I always try to remember what prompted me to champion for mental wellness, because I do not do it as a profession. I just started out of the need that is in the society.
Amazing.
So I just want to tell every young people here that even you who are out there, just as Hannah has said, she might have gone that field because she's very passionate about it. For some of us who had already started, then we realized we're actually passionate about this. We had no otherwise but to start that journey. So any young person that is there and you feel like you have a calling or something that is prompting you to champion for more mental wellness, that will add more voices to the community to make them more aware of something that we call mental health.
Indeed.
Because a win for her is a win for me, because if she can be heard about mental health, then I'm okay. I'm good. So there's no need for, yes, there was an aspect of competition in the votes, but the main thing is we are championing for one thing, which is mental health. So I see her win, I'm comfortable.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So hapa kuna story ya kulose, nililose sasa itakuwa ngori sana. All right.
Yeah.
Now, deep down, there are so many youths out there, and they want stability. Then now, from your advocacy and your wellness, how do we create an alignment for them to be totally okay?
First of all is, as counselors and mental health advocates, one thing they should know is that you're not providing solutions to them. What you're solely doing is to uplift them to a place where they can be able to make their decisions independently. Because independence is something that is very wonderful, because you might not have the luxury of having a therapist by your side every other time. So the strength of what we do and what we champion for is your independence. So we heighten you to a place where you can sufficiently think about problems in your life or things that are not adding up well, and then you can be able to be at a place where you can make decisions. So every time, and I'm a very huge fan of problem solving, and one scheme for problem solving is empowering an individual. Empowering an individual not to make them solve a decision, but to empower them to be able to come up with solutions by themselves, which are authentically made. So how we can be able to put that balance is to empower young people to a place where, one, you let them know of their strengths and weaknesses, and now when we come to the weaknesses, we be able to show them how they can better their weaknesses and allow them the luxury, the time to be able to perfect their weaknesses. Because if there's a weakness in character and personality, those are not things that are changed in one instance. So yes, we show you your weaknesses or point you out to places where you might have been at fault and allow you that time to correct it. At the same time, amplifying as much your positive attributes so that they overwhelm the weaknesses that you have. Yeah.
All right, someone has lost a job, someone has lost a babe, and it's a point in crisis that hata umwambie namna gani, even if you don't talk to them, umwambie design gani, they'll never be okay, because the heartbreak now strikes harder than before. From the understanding of all these things, do you think many of us at this particular point in time to go depressed just because there's someone that has lost a job, there's someone that had a relationship crisis, there's someone that has a family problem, that makes now the initiation of not being okay?
Let me first add to what Nganga said, and I would want to say that number one, it's okay not to be okay, and number two, I would want to say that we as counselors, those people in the mental health field, they are not there to fix you. Just like Nganga said, we do not fix people, And now back to your question, you asked whether we can be able to maybe help them, and maybe whatever they're going through is next to impossible, or are we even going to help them? So number one, when it comes to therapy, we don't change people, right? And we don't fix them. So therapy should be very willing. You should be very willing, because now you see, I'm giving you the ball back to you. I'm just there to help you. I'm just there to support you. Even don't give advices, So that you can have that change, or that rather so that you can maybe see change in your life or have results, you have to be willing. Like, I need this, I need to become the best version of myself. So I'll say that, it has to come from within. We cannot be able to help you if it doesn't come from within, because we'll do our part, but you're still stagnant. Not because maybe you cannot move, but because you just decided that, no, I don't want to. This situation is very difficult, it's very painful. Just like you've said, losing someone, people grieve differently. There are those people who grieve months, others years, 10 years, 20 years, they even grieve for a lifetime, So I'll say that, change has to come from within.
All right, hello Kiwachwa.
Of course, it's painful, and I want to say that feel the pain. Don't try to go to a rebound, because that's what people do, just to feel that void, ama kuisema, mimi hapana, siniko mrembo, ama niko handsome, let me go and jump to another relationship, what we call a rebound. But now what you're going to do, you're not going to do that because you healed, you're doing that because you just want to hide that, you just want to fill that void they left. So that's why it's very important. First, feel the pain. It's okay. And I think that's why many people fear therapy, right, Nganga? Because you see, we have to like kuchimbua, you know, you have to face your pain, you have to feel it, we allow you to feel it. But hizi zingine, that's why pia watu wengi, they go to alcohol when they are depressed, stressed, they go to alcohol just to numb their pain. They don't want to feel it. And maybe in our next, the second, what do we call it?
Session.
Yeah, I'm going to demonstrate something. Yes, just to show the same. Yeah.
So you mentioned something about rebound, and which now ignites the basis of the conversation in this concept of championing for mental wellness. When we discover that someone has a problem in their relationship, Hannah has just spoken about rebound. So do you think, Nganga, we should now kaa tu hadi time ambayo God ataleta mtu mwingine mzuri?
Well, let me start in the context of a relationship. It's normal for every relationship to have ups and downs. That's a normality. So,
but it's not a must.
Yeah?
But it's not a must.
It's not a must, but rarely. Let's be realistic. Every relationship has an up and down.
Right.
So where the catch is how well you solve issues within yourselves. Because the two people who are coming together in the name of love or romantic affiliation, they are brought up from different communities, brought up by different parents. So it is more likely that they will clash because they were brought up with different people, different cultures. So that's something that might bring the contest between the two of them. But now, how the two of them handle it matters a lot. Then another thing, when obviously there are people who end up now realizing that they are not meant for each other, which now causes a breakup, whether it's healthy or unhealthy, it's still a breakup. But now the first thing that you should do is first accept that it has happened, and now start working deeply on yourself. Not clinging towards blaming, because that's what more people do, and that hinders you from seeing the okay, let me say the devil within you, because what a relationship does, it points out to you who you really are. Because when you start being more romantic, the romantic aspect, once it starts coming out and you start mshaanza kuzoeana hivyo, then your true character starts coming out. So the other partner is prone to seeing such things, and they point you out to such things. So even if you had a mistake or not, it's also important for you to sit down and reflect on your behaviors during the relationship and after, and then now start working towards that. And once you work towards that, even Hannah can agree, it's now easier to find a better and a healthier partner.
All right.
Yeah.
So hauwezi jua tabia yake before you guys engage?
It's very rare.
Huwezi msoma mapema?
Inakuanga ngumu. Saa ingine inakuanga ngumu. Ukiingia ndo utamjua vizuri. Mimi? No. Niliweka anonymous kwa status, na that was a very, ilikuwa ina trend sana, na sikuwa nataka kujibu hiyo swali. Hiyo swali
wanted to come on board. Ulipata numbers mob?
Niliwe watu wengi.
Most after you won?
They were asking me whether I'm single or not.
And you said?
I didn't say nothing. I just said I thank God that I'm here today, but once I have someone, nikipata mtu mtajua tu.
Ndakuja mtu.
Unakuanga tu na signs. Labda wewe mose hujaona signs juu ufungui macho. Labda iko signs.
You're right.
We'll share numbers with Hannah. Probably she will be able to see the signs better. Maybe there's a problem with
there are signs. Anatanionyesha. Amazing. All right, can't wait to that as well. Now, of course, we are just taking a breather. 0745762640 is our WhatsApp number. Endelea kucheza kama wewe. Send us your inbox and your comments, your opinions in regards to the mental well-being of the young people. And of course, in the political divide, there are so many involvements, young people into these spaces, and many of them end up being used by these politicians, whereas their lives are in a crisis. There are many people that want a good life, but in one or the other, it sounds impossible. That makes a very big shift in their lives. So as we bring an alignment to all these conversation, how do we create a sensible environment for these young people to have safe spaces, and of course to get the clear understanding and the context of being okay despite the challenges that comes with it. Of course, wale watu kwa tupenda nao kama nganga, we'll get to know itakuwa namna gani, and we can't forget about the domestic violence that also are within these measures za not or being okay. So when you get back, of course, we'll get the understanding and the clear understanding of how the government and the ministry at large can also work across the organizations to make sure that we have the awareness made and done right here in the Republic. This is the morning drift, mentally winning. Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu, kwa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mali.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
People are there to belittle you. When people are questioning you,
if you don't move fast, of course, yes, you lose it, but then it's not us to push you.
But you do not know the God who has been molding me. What has he been doing to me?
The deep and mature conversations of empowerment for you with a curious mind and an appetite for oriented conversations.
I concur with what you're saying. You plan your finances, you can easily live without a debt.
An engaging safe space of free expression and truthfulness with an upheld vibrance, motivation and happiness.
So many children who are there, they are not living their dreams.
Join us for deep conversations with Zipporah Gashushe every Saturday from 8 p.m. The Deeper Conversations on Lookup TV.
Welcome back. Our WhatsApp number is 0745762640. Send us your comments, your opinions in regards to the conversation on mental well-being right here in the Republic. We're asking a question: do you think the young people are okay, even after the different crises that we've witnessed before, including the collaboration between the Mwananchi, that is the young people, and the government, where it ends up being manipulation? What is your context on the same? And maisha ya watu inaanza kubadilika sana, and many of the young people do not feel right. If you visit them in their home places, they are really but suffering. So mental health in Kenya faces significant challenges, including a high prevalence of mental disorders, and of course limited access to care and widespread stigma. So vile tu ulikuwa unasema that many people are afraid to say that manze mimi niko mbaya, I need some help. So there are different ways that we can channel change and to drive change towards all this. So that is what you guys are going to help us with, and really understanding at the end of the tunnel, are we going to have safe spaces for these people, even as we get the ignition vizuri sana from where you see it as mental advocates, and of course now deep down to these people that need help. But earlier on we'd mentioned about now the political engagement where leaders end up using young people for their own interest. Then later on at the end of the tunnel, the young people are not in the better positions. What will be your understanding on the same?
I'll say that the young people need to understand that they deserve it, you know, because we are the leaders of tomorrow. And I think we should also know where we stand, our stands. So that will help us to know our value, and it will also help us to raise our voice and stand up for ourselves, especially when it comes to being misused and used and not even getting help or being taken anywhere. So it's very important for we as young people to understand that we really deserve it. Not that we are entitled to it. No, we are not entitled, but we deserve it, you know. So it's very important for us to know that we are of value. With that, it is going to guide us, and tutajua mahali tunatumiwa vibaya, unajua kuna kupendwa na kutumiwa vibaya. So we will know the difference.
And of course, history of boundaries now in a come through. How do we make sure that we align boundaries? Ganga? Boundaries between
and the politicians?
Yeah, boundaries within, and of course boundaries also in the context of the environment. Is when the politicians gonna come through.
Okay, I think now more than ever we realize the power that the young people have. That it is possible for the young people to bring the economy to a standstill in the name of mandamano and trying to sort things that are happening in the economy through their demonstrations. So this boils down even to individual basis. Each young person needs to know, and they don't need to be told as much because they can see the kind of impact they are causing the country of Kenya, and especially last year when about the bill, that the finance bill Nini, they caused that not to be passed through, you see. So that goes individually, and you are of importance, and the government realizes that you are useful. So the aspect of being misused, let's speak honestly, something that has no use cannot be misused, because there is nothing that brings to the table. Something that has the ability to be misused then has the ability to be used in the right way, because misuse is used in the wrong way. So meaning that kama you can be misused, it also means that you're of value and you have impact. It's just that it has been twisted to a wrong way. But once you know the best way to be utilized, then you're going to be a force to reckon with.
This boy is thinking, you know. Tunasema being misused. At being misused, of course, they've seen your impact.
Yeah, of course. Like, how can you misuse something that is not useful?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. That's a parable,
just
though.
To add on the boundaries, I'll say that there are so many people who do not know how to set boundaries. And that's something I think I'll say 90% of my clients or the people I deal with and work with through this healing journey, they have difficulty setting boundaries, difficulty saying no. They're those people pleasers. And I think that's what makes it very difficult for young people to say no to things they're supposed to say. They say yes to things they're supposed to say no to. And even if they see they're being misused and used, just like Nganga said, they're unable to stand up for themselves and say, no, I don't want this. And I think that's where we now come in. If you're unable to say no, please come for therapy. We are here to help you and set those boundaries. Unajua huko ushago tulikuwa tunarushia mti kona maembe, tulikuwa tunairushia mawe. But the other one that doesn't have, tulikuwa tunaiacha hivyo. Now facing what Nganga said. Yes.
All right. So we have social support that now can channel all this and giving energy towards alignment. You have balloons now. I think I'll give you a chance now to let us know about the balloons. and of course nacheki vile tumengojea tuone what are the buliza ndio maana umekaa hivyo sasa.
Guys, just know I'm the one she just put me to
torture. Alright, take it through.
Thank you so much, Sesmo. So I have these 3 balloons. Your question was, are the young people okay? And this is just simply to demonstrate if they are okay or not. When we are born, we become as, you know, this balloon is very flat, it doesn't have air inside. As we grow up and start to recognize ourselves and start to realize ourselves, start to know the kind of personalities we have, what kind of people we are and all that, we become at this size. And there is where now you understand that there is stress, there is depression, there is anxiety and all that. Now you become a bit big, like this balloon, but you see it's not that big that it can burst or something. It still allows space, you know. Now at this moment you can be able to make decisions, you can be able to maybe bounce back, you become resilient enough, and as time goes by, maybe those people, like our men in our society, and it's so unfortunate that our society has taught out, you know, they never seek help, they should never cry, and all the other should I call them lies or something, because it's not weakness to seek help, it's not weakness to go and ask for help, you know. And just like Sesmo, let me ask you a question. Ukigonjeka mguu, or rather if kama utavunjika mguu, or, and God forbid, I'm just using an example, you're going to go to the hospital, right? So what makes you think that even if you, a male is not, a man is not mentally okay, he's not going to seek help? But if you're physically not okay, you're not going to seek help. So that balloon, hapa sasa, you start repressing. You're anxious, you repress. You become depressed, you repress. And just like the definition of what mental health is, mental health refers to a person's social, psychological, and emotional well-being, and it affects how we think, feel, and behave, as well as how we interact with people. Just engage and do our things, and how we manage stress. So at this moment, you're able to manage stress, you're able to find healthy coping mechanisms, because it says, what nikitoka hapa, I'll still be stressed, but the difference is when I'm stressed, what am I going to do? So at this point, you're at your breaking point, and that's why so many people say that nimefikishwa mwisho, you know. And at this moment, and I'll use this to like burst this balloon. Yeah. And just to show what happens when you repress and suppress your feelings and emotions. And no maana tunaambiwa, just be kind, because you never know at what point huyo mtu wako, kama ako hapa ama ako hapa ama ako hapa, ile hata hana space ya kupumua, you know. And
so the flat one is,
the flat one is when you're just a child, you don't understand anything. And then this one is when, bado uja uko tu, you know. But this one is when umekuwa, you understand, oh, I know this is stress, I know this is depression, I know this is anxiety. Yani you're able to understand your feelings and communicate them. So at this moment, at this point, someone can do anything without knowing it. Even these people who die by suicide, this is what happens. And Morai, remember last time when we were live, she said that those people who die by suicide, si ati ni hile the instant problem or the instant situation they had that made them die by suicide. No, they have been piling up, na baluni yao imekuwa hivi. So they do not have a space to breathe, they don't have anywhere to go. And so I'll demonstrate how what happens when you repress and when you keep on feeding or keeping things to yourself. And this is what happens.
Wow.
It was loud, and that's how it is. When you burst, there's so many emotions running, you know, hata ujielewi. That's why you find people doing things and then anashtukia, haya, what did I do? Si kupenda, you know, ama unachapa mtoto, unapata umemuumiza, ama you've killed the child, na si kupenda, unakuja kushtukia nyumaye. So it's very important to tusirudi kurepress, we seek help. Yes.
All right. Indeed. And hakuna story anonymous hapa sasa. So, it is either because yesterday we were speaking about mother's postpartum depression, which now is kind of what you're explaining. You're doing something, but you kind of don't know about these effects. All right. So and also in the alignment of teenage mothers, which are peer on young people, and also are coming in line. So we have the context of the entire things that are happening in the heart of the society, and hata ukimwambia namna gani wewe shughulika na maisha yako. And of course you're coming to bring help and to share help, just as what Hannah has explained, that you've gotten to a point enyewe upende usipende, we need to help you. When it comes to you guys that you face, is it I don't when you face what should I was, and when you face you don't want the person that you're hosting, your client, doesn't want to respond to this, and then later on if you continue insisting, they say that wewe shughulika na maisha yako. So at this point in time, do you think that we can create an alignment after all?
Okay, what I want to say is that what can heal can hurt or can damage. Therapy is healthy only if someone agrees to and is willing to go through that journey. Anything else aside from someone's conscious will to go through that path is definitely a damage. You know, a good thing is only a good thing when it provides positive impacts. A good thing can still cause hurt because it's done outside someone's will. You can choose to, for example, you can choose to take someone to, what do we call it? When somebody is so into drugs, wanapelekanga rehabilitation. I was looking for that word. So if for example, you have a relative who is so much into drugs, and now the people around them think of rehabilitation as the solution to what that person is going through, and you guys decide to forcefully take that person to a rehabilitation center, then chances are it's going to be a very tough period for the ones who are taking care of that person. And if that person chooses to accept, so that the time that he's having in the rehabilitation center passes, guess what happens? When they come back, they still do the same thing. You see? So the balance is, even in the confines of therapy and psychology, let there be will for your client. Indeed. If you feel like the client is not yet willing, then it hurts for you as a counselor to let that person go. But it's the best solution at that particular time, because you never know what more hurt you put, because that person is already hurt. And the least we'd want is to provide more hurt to somebody who is already hurt, because that's not what we do.
So many people are exploding.
Yeah, true.
Right now.
Yeah. So nafaa kupunguza hewa na naibust. Unakam tu na bust. Yeah, it's not a good thing.
Now talk to us about now single young mothers.
Wow. Okay, statistically there is a rise of single young mothers. I was in Family TV a couple of months ago. We were talking about the same thing about situationships, the rise of situationships, and how that causes the reasoning behind young people not being able to settle in life and relationship-wise. So there's a very big impact. One of them is situationships as well, where people get into a relationship for the sole purpose of testing whether this person is good for me or not, which is not quite a good thing, because it has its downsides, because once you start testing, then it means you're exposing yourself to a certain degree of hurt, because even in the confines of dating, I think one of the things that young people should amplify is conversations. Any other thing can come after, but conversations and the will for you guys to be open with each other. That can very well point out to you whether this person is right for you. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of erosion, especially when it comes to sexual immorality, which is blinding the need for people to have this conversation. And that's what is causing more people to be in situations, and then also allows more young men not to take responsibility. Yeah. So the single young mothers, I understand it's because of a decision they made and the decision the guy she was with made. But when you cannot cry over spilled milk, because the starting point of your change is acceptance. That's the first step. And once from that point you make that decision, it should be a decision for you not to make such a mistake like that before, the one that you made before, and also to be able to provide a platform where your child does not end up making the same decision.
All right.
Yeah, my father would continuously say that I cannot see you making the same bad decisions I made, because it only shows that he didn't play the part he needed to play, because he had to go through that so that I am rescued from the need to go through that. Yeah. So you as a mother, yes, of course you'll face backlash from the community, and especially your parents if they do not understand your situation.
All right.
Yeah. So but don't bite more than you can chew. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. The ones who can be able to understand are the ones you're supposed to put your energy to.
Okay.
I constantly say that you should put your investment where there is return. So if you provide positive input on someone else and it comes to you the same way you gave it back, then that's the place to invest. If you give it positive and what comes is negative, then shift your focus.
All right.
Yeah.
So you've before you get to that, you've is explained about mistakes and decisions. Earlier this week, of course, also we were embracing the fact that, do you think that at some point when these young mothers get pregnant, ilikuwa tu kibahati mbaya, hatuko tumepangilia?
Well, let me acknowledge single mothers, not only mothers but single dads, and I will want to tell you that you are doing the best for your kids. You're doing the best, because these people, the single parents, they go to extremes to make sure they provide for their kids. They do everything for them. So I want to validate and tell you that honestly, you're doing the best and you're doing well, you know. Now, when it comes to, let me now first finish with the single parent, and then I come to the other end.
Right.
I'll say that so many, not all, but most of them are really bleeding on their kids, you know. And I usually say that just like childhood trauma, I usually tell my clients that whatever happened to you was never your fault, but your healing is your full responsibility. Our single parents, they did not enter into that marriage or relationship with that mentality of nitazaa and then nitoke na mtoto nikuwe tu single parent. No, they just find themselves, and that tells you that whatever happened was never your fault, but your healing is your full responsibility, because I have seen so many single parents bleeding on their kids, wanawachapa because of the bitterness. Maybe ujai msamehea, you've never forgiven your partner. Ukiona mtoto anakaa ni photocopy yake, unasahau unamchapa ama kumtusi and all that. So that's why it's very important for you to heal and work on yourself. Yes, you're doing the best, and you did not find yourself as a single parent because you wanted to. You just found yourself. Nature just did its thing, and you found yourself.
Indeed.
Now back to the other side of getting pregnant. First of all, let me talk to all young people, you know.
Young men?
Sorry?
Young men? Young people?
Young people. Oh,
generally?
Okay. Yeah, young people.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm about to say, young people. In young people,
Okay.
I will say that before you decide to become a mom or a dad, please go for therapy. Go for therapy. Not only that, before I decide to date someone, before you decide to date someone, Sesmo, before you decide to have a girlfriend or just a fiancé or someone you're going to be in
before
a
I decide,
serious
I'm deciding.
Before you decide to become, you know, there are these serious relationships that will lead to marriage,
Okay.
ni fiancé and all that. Please make sure you go for therapy. Why? Because we all come from different backgrounds, right?
Indeed,
Mi
indeed.
niko na background yangu, Nganga kona yake, wewe uko na yako, you know. We all have our different backgrounds, and we all have childhood traumas,
Indeed.
you know. Most of them have childhood traumas, not all, but most of them have childhood traumas. And if I do not have the childhood trauma, I was still a child, I have the childhood experience. So utapata tuko kwa nyumba moja, sharing the same bed, sharing the same everything, but we are two different people. And I tell young people that marriage is not a fixer. Oh my goodness. Marriage will amplify. It will mirror. It will mirror who you are. So it's very, very important. Usiseme ati nitaingia kwa ndoa ati
ndo nisizurure sana.
Ndo nisizurure sana or something, because it's something that's very serious. Ndo usifike and then mpate ampatani, and then because it's not working, you're not going to die there. You will live, right? So ndo watoto wasiumie and all that, it's very important for you to seek help.
All right, the okay bit will come now when the husband has run away, you know, you're left alone. And of course, we've also seen young men that the wife decided now pia to leave, akamwacha na mtoto hapo. Then it becomes a crisis. So later on, there is a misunderstanding, hataanza namna gani. But later on, as the girl heals, then thereafter, as Nganga had mentioned earlier, decisions and, you know, a mistake again, then this girl now decides to get pregnant again. What will be your view on the same?
And that's why I'm saying they should seek help, because
seeking help to get pregnant again?
No, seek after you have after you have realized you did something wrong, or rather you are in that relationship, umeachwa na mimba na mtoto pia, bwana mabibi ametoroka, seek help.
Indeed.
Because you're going to learn from your mistakes. And then there are the very important things that we should never compromise in any relationship. A partner who can listen, a partner who can change for you, a partner who is not comfortable with who and where they are. Those are things that you should really consider and look at very, very seriously, because tunajipata tumeingia kwa relationship na maybe while we were during courtship, Sesmo hakuwa anasikiza. If you cannot listen, number one, you cannot even change, because you cannot listen to me. If I tell you you're doing wrong, you're doing this and I don't like it, you're not going to change for me, right? You're very comfortable with who and where you are. Therefore, whatever is hurting me, ni mimi too, and that's what we call narcissistic. You know, there are so many narcissistic partners, you know. So Sesmo, it's very important. Kama unaona uliachwa na mtoto, it's very okay. But number one, it's very okay, and you didn't choose that for yourself. But how are you going to move forward? Because you're not going to stagnate. Their life is moving.
Okay.
Yes.
Powerful. Even as we talk about now the social media and the aspects of the entire environment, za umeona kitu Instagram na sasa hivi, because you can't afford it, mambo inaanza kukua mbaya, si ndio? So there's someone on our WhatsApp line saying, good morning, I'm Cliff Otieno, Juma, watching from Kisumu, Dala. What I want to say is, speaking on the reality in the ground, things are different as they seem to be. There are no jobs, even the empowerment program, it comes like peanuts that can do nothing to a daily life of Njuki. And also, the government to be clear with the youth, sincerely speaking, there are no jobs, but from what the youths know, the government needs to help them create their self-employment. All right. That is Cliff, all the way from Kisumu. And of course, we had embraced the conversation that msee ana job na imekuwa ngori sana, atafanya namna gani? And of course, the involvement ya pia, he has a family or she has a family that are looking up to him. It becomes a total crisis. But we'd already answered that. In the meantime, I want us now to talk about the okay in the long run of social media. That because I'm seeing things trending online, I also want to participate in them. I'm seeing good shoes, good clothes, good outfit outside there, and I want to participate in them. As a youth mental champion, we are having this. And so many young people are disturbed with this because they can't manage to get to that point. So when I make up your Hana, they can't afford that.
They can't.
Really, makeup expensive. So they can't get to that point. But how will we make sure that sometimes we say that what you see online is not true? Hebu enda kwa ground, uone vile jamana anateseka, unaanza kujiekea ile ghadhabu ya kusema kwamba manze, I want to be like that person, yet you don't know what they're going through. In the alignment of mentally healthy, how are we going to have this social environment pia tukue na ile driving change, na kila moja I feel that indeed are mentally stable despite the fact that what they are seeing on social media?
Okay. Interesting enough, I was listening about that earlier this morning about the effect of social media on mental health. And one thing people should know is just don't look at things on the surface.
Okay.
Try to understand what is really so interesting about what people portray in their social media.
Indeed.
And what is the community buying from that. So when it comes to men, men are really judged according to their social statuses. If a man is quantified as valuable to the community according to their social status, or to what degree they have influence on the community and country as a whole. So when it comes to the ladies are, by the community, they look at their physical appearances. That's what the community portrays, and it's so sad, but that's what the community is selling. You will find that ladies who are prone to having a, let me say, figure and what and all those things, the ones that the community want to see are the ladies who are prone to be very, so amplified, to a point where now there is a rise of the cosmetic industry, where now the ladies are doing some surgeries. Hiyo kizungu sasa. Those things, they add something onto their behinds, on their breasts, on their, all those things. So these are the two things that are simply being portrayed in the social media, especially on the side of men, the side of ladies. So you find that even when you scroll on TikTok, you'll find that what trends mostly is body, especially for the ladies, which has also shifted how the fashion is in the country. There's a little bit of nudity being introduced slowly by slowly, which is affirmed by, I used to study in JKUAT, and there's a past year where they posted a warning about how the young ladies dress specifically, and it was quite a big pointer on how the fashion is moving towards, because there are certain clothes that sell, because once a lady wears that outfit and goes to make content, the video will sell because of the kind of clothes they are wearing, and because of what they are being able to portray. So for the men, again, you've realized that the men are also going to work out a lot. Men are also like to be in circles where people are very well influential, because that's what defines their quality in the community. So then this brings out the pressure that is within. So every man has the pressure to make it and be very influential, just like other men, so that they are recognized socially. For a lady now is striving towards wearing certain kinds of clothes, putting on certain kinds of makeup, all those things, which are not inherently bad, but what effect do they have towards you? Because if you cannot be able to afford what the society is portraying to be as good, then it's going to be an effect to you. Utakopa, you'll do all those kinds of things. You will steal, you will borrow your friend's clothes and say, wacha nivae nitakurudishia, which is not you.
Indeed.
And what therapy does is it points you to you. It shows you who you really are. So stick to where you are at and slowly develop yourself. Where people are at, you can get there. Yesterday I was having a conversation with my brother, and I told him, everything that these big people do, we can do it because we are human as well. But now you have to build yourself up to that place. Don't skip paths. If you cannot afford, then come up with a mechanism in which you can be able to get resources to get there.
Kwa sababu mtu hawezi believe in God, pia unaanza kungangana siamini God wote. You see it trending online. All right.
So I want to add to what Nganga said, and I'll say that, can we please stop changing ourselves to fit in? If I take garlic and sandarai, machungwa kadogo, you know, they're of the same size, right? Nikichukua hii sandara niweke hapa, it's going to fit, but it's not the right place. So I'm going to experience disrespect, unappreciation. I'm going to experience insult. Why? I'm not of the same place. So Nganga has talked about the luxury and the materialistic things and the beauty and all that, but I would want to look at success. There was something that was trending TikTok, I think, for the past few weeks, of someone who said that uko 35 years aje and you're still unangangana bado na super metro, and I saw how that sparked everyone's you know, suggestion and whatever they told him, and they said that, you know what, everyone has their own race to run. Like hata social media unapata TikTok, mtu ako 19 years amesha move out, anaishi maisha yake, akona free, yani anaishi poa, anaishi Kilimani or the other posh places, you know. So I want to tell every young people out there, run. You know, so stop changing yourself to fit in, because when you change yourself to fit in, you're no longer living, actually you're dead. You know, because umeji change undo fit in, and you're not supposed to be there. So you're going to experience burnout, utanyonywa too, you're going to feel drained, because that's not you. So I want to stress this, that please be yourself. Everyone has their own race to run. You can be blessed at 30, at 40, at 50, at 19, at 18. Be patient with yourself. Don't change yourself to fit in.
Yeah, and I think we should have a follow-up on that that man.
Yeah.
Tujue anaendelea namna gani. Because after a backlash, it's not easy for him. Because you are mental advocates, you can try reach out. Si bado ni young man. Wacha utumfuatilia, and so many other people that are online wakasema kitu, then kikawaramba, then now they are biashara zake zimeharibika. You know, how is he feeling at this point in now the bottom? And I believe at least we have tried to tackle on some few things of what we will perhaps understand. There is the investment case, and of course there is sustainable momentum. Of course, now we igniting change in the best way possible, that since we've already seen the damage, we've already seen the effect, and there is a challenge here. But now we want to create a solution. That how can we get the community involved, the government as a whole involved, and advocates as a whole involved to this discussion, for us to make sure that this topic, because tulisema June ndio mental health, but now the entire time lazima tu that we can get now to the end of the year and still to celebrate Christmas and the New Year when everyone is mentally healthy and mentally okay. How can we drive a better solution towards all these conversations that ended up Janela toka tunasema emergency wana suffer. No. So Nganga, I'd really love to hear your voice of action towards all this advocacy and awareness, because this is the only way we can initiate change and a global change towards driving a positive solution.
Okay, first of all is to change how people think. I think how people think is a very big cause for what is happening.
All right.
So how you think is who you are.
As you share with us how we can get you on the social media.
Okay. How you think is who you are. So first thing is kind of change how people think about themselves. A perfect example, especially from the comment.
Okay.
I think this will be the last thing I'm saying.
All right.
Especially about there've been a lot of uproar about the government not coming through for us. Take a step and think about how the government works. Do you actually know, Moses, that the government needs you? Because the funds they're operating on are your funds. The tax they're operating on are your they are running on your resources. So who needs who?
Indeed.
It's them who need us. So you need to take a step back and know that this government is running on your finances.
Okay.
That's why I was saying
shortly.
Yeah, I was saying that the government is more of a collective help. It's most chances are that the government is thinking towards a way it can help all of us at once, because 52 million probably Kenyans. So the government is working on a way it can help all the 52 million. So chances are less that it will get to everyone bit by bit.
Indeed.
You get it? Yeah. So it's up to you to realize that you have a part to play in that government.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Your socials?
Socials, Instagram, Njuki as well. Yeah.
Sawa sawa. Hannah, please, your voice of action, then your socials as we wind up.
All right. Thank you. For me, I'll say that change has to come from within. Tell what let us reduce this stigma actually to none, you know, because that's what is bothering so many people, and it blocks them from seeking help. So my parting shot will be that you are whole, worthy, and still becoming. Please never, ever, ever give up. My socials are Hannah Karuga. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, IG, Twitter, all over Hannah Karuga. Thank you so much, Cecil.
All right. So thank you so much, Hannah Karuga. Thank you so much, Njuki, for a good job well done, and all the best in your endeavors as you dive into the advocacy at large. All right. On Tuesday, of course, there was a case, Senator demand probe into mental health facilities following Chiromo Hospital killing. And of course, senators have demanded an urgent probe into the state of mental health institutions in Kenya, citing alarming cases of neglect, weak regulation, and systemic failures that have endangered patients across the country. Because this was as a result of the death of Njuki, who died under mysterious circumstances, allegedly being abducted from her home and forcibly admitted to Chiromo Hospital. Wow. Of course, there's also a clear divide in all hospitals right in the country, and they are in need of dire collaboration with mental advocates as this, so as we can have a total alignment even in hospitals. Wako wagonjwa lakini wanahitaji a proper alignment. Of course, we'll get to the bottom line of that and see what is the outbreak and what is indeed what we should take into consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just concluded the championing mental wellness right in the Republic, and I believe everyone now has a glimpse on what to do. Of course, your decision matters. Happy weekend.
When it comes to the soul-searching, stirring, and